welcome to this week's edition of the Side Splitters. My name is Lyle.
And my name is Andy.
And our goal tonight is to leave you in stitches. What's going on, buddy?
I am curling up on this fine chair of mine.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, and I like to usually point out something about you, you know, what's going on with my pajama-clad friend, my four-eyed friend, I got nothing today,
Oh, what? I'm not presentable enough for you?
Buzz cut, buddy?
Buzz cut buddy actually does roll off the tongue.
Yeah, Andy got a haircut.
It was long overdue. I don't know how everybody is. Like, how often do you get your haircut?
When I think it's long overdue.
Yeah, right? Like, there's no set point. Like, it's kind of like you're at one with the universe and you wake up one morning and you don't even have to look at yourself. You just feel it. You're like, something's off.
Yeah.
And you have to cut it.
For me, it's usually when I wear a hat 95% of my life. So for me, it's usually when the sideburns start to curl up around the hat. That's when it's time to get my hair cut.
Yeah, I get curlings and I don't like it and I gotta get rid of it.
And
then I get a beard on the back of my neck and I'm like, no, this has gotta go.
Yeah. So looks good on you though.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad somebody thinks so.
Summer coming around, I'm sure you're gonna really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm preparing for summer in February because, you know, we can't decide what season we're in, so I'm just preparing for the worst.
Seriously. Did you watch by any chance? Just thinking of like seasons and everything. There was one of the award shows was on the other night. I think it was the Grammys, maybe.
You are correct.
Okay. Did you watch it?
No.
Did you at least see pictures and or videos of CeeLo Green?
No.
The gentleman was completely clad in gold.
Huh. Okay. Why?
I don't know.
Oh, you know, it's funny. I saw a meme. It must have been him then, because it was a meme from. Okay, yeah.
I'm showing Andy a picture of him right now. That's him.
No words.
Don't know why he looked like a Ferrero Rocher.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure your meme was great. But anyway, the reason I brought this up, no problem. I go on Reddit a lot. Everyone knows that. While I was on Reddit, I was looking at the hot Reddit topics at the time. There's a section of Reddit, if you're familiar with Reddit. It's called All, and it's every subreddit out there, and you can filter it by what is the newest post, what is the hottest post at the moment, what are the top posts of all time, last 24 hours, last week, whatever. I usually go by the hot post, which is like the, you know, trending ones, whatever ones are popular at that moment. Usually helps me stay up to date with like current events, you know, any kind of news articles I want to see that would be interesting to me or whatever.
Right.
Well, if I'm doing this on all as opposed to my own subreddits, then it's everything. So it's even stuff that may not interest me. There was one, I forget what the subreddit was, but it was a picture of CeeLo Green being gold. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I read into it a bit and seen that he was at the awards show the night before and was like, oh, okay, that's just how he showed up. Got it. But I was looking at the comments for it, and one of the trending things, like something that's kind of a thing to do on Reddit, is make up a subreddit on the spot and see if it just catches. There's one called Black People Gifts.
Hey.
I'm not being racist, it's the internet.
No, you can blame the internet, that's completely legitimate.
But it's just exactly what it sounds like. It's wonderful. They also have a white girl's gift. And I think they might have a white people be like. I don't know. Anyway, someone decided to make a new subreddit called Gold People Gifts. Specifically for this moment, you know, and that's a thing to do. Like, oh, let's let's make up a meta subreddit, you know? So I go to it, and it's only been around for like an hour or two at this point. So I'm like, oh man, fresh subreddit. Everyone's going to be seeing it because this is linked off of all, you know. So I'm
Right.
like, I'm going to post something here. I'm going to try to be funny. So there's a thing you can do on Reddit called giving gold to someone, where basically it's like $5 that you can pay to really show someone that you appreciate whatever they just said or posted. Whether if you thought a joke was really funny, if you felt bad for them because, you know, whatever happened to them that they're sharing a story about, or they inspired you, whatever. You can literally give gold to anyone for any reason. It's your decision. It's your $5.
Okay.
And what it does is it gives you, it gives you special privileges on Reddit. I'm really not sure what it does, to be honest with you. I know you get access to a VIP subreddit that, from what I understand, like no one uses, but that could just be, you know, that could just be a way of them going, yeah, no one uses it. We swear. Stay out of our VIP room.
Right.
So anyway, I suggested on Gold People Gifts, you know, I said something along the lines of, paraphrasing my own thing here, I don't really remember, I'm not too lazy to bring it up, but I said something along the lines of, I feel like this subreddit should be for gold members only.
Okay.
And then I continued saying, of course that would mean I would be instantly banned, but I'm all for justice, you know?
Mhm.
The person the administrator of the subreddit, the admin, the guy that like started it, was just like, good point. All in favor of banning this guy? One person, Andy, one person replied with, why not?
Wow.
So, dude was like, yep, he's banned now, and posted a picture of, you know, my username under the banned list. And because it was such a new subreddit, I was the only person that was banned from Gold People Gifts. And I mean,
Wow.
it was a great joke. It was funny. You know, like, I don't even care about it, because I'm probably never going to post anything there again. I'm probably never going to look at it again, because it was such an in-the-moment thing. That it's just
Right.
like, whatever. I'm probably never going to use this again. I don't really care. I can still look at it. I'm just not allowed to post things there anymore.
Right.
So
Which
it's
is
like,
fine. Like I don't know, man. That like if getting hit with a ban hammer turns you into a lurker, like man, I have message boards that I've been a member of since like 2006 that I've maybe posted like less than a dozen times in.
funny
I'm
enough.
a lurker. That's what I do.
Yeah, I hear you. I typically am too, except for when it comes to Reddit, man. I don't know why, but sometimes the joke has to be there. It's usually just a joke, but the joke has to be like, it has to be perfect. And usually it's just one of those moments where like I have to share this with someone. No one around me will understand it unless I completely explain it to them and explain to them what Reddit is, and it's just too much of a hassle. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to post a joke on here, see what happens. Sometimes it goes great, sometimes it goes unnoticed. Anyway, um, like there was one time where someone was doing an Ask Me Anything, and the person that was doing an Ask Me Anything was uh someone that has worked at Disney World for 20 plus years, I believe they said, uh, playing the character
I would blow my brains out.
playing the character of Goofy.
I would blow my brains out.
There was a lot of questions of like, you know, how do you keep your sanity and everything like that.
Yeah, seriously.
You know, and people had very important questions to ask, myself included. You know, people would ask things like, you know, like I said, how do you keep your insanity? Your sanity, not your insanity. How do you keep your sanity, especially around the It's a Small World ride? You know,
Yeah.
how do you get along with the other Disney characters and all that? Do you guys ever come across a moment where, you know, you're Goofy and someone else's Goofy ends up in the same area? You know, all kind of important questions like that. Where do you guys stay? Is it in the vicinity of the park? Do you stay in the park, or do you have like off-site housing, or you know, how's that work? I asked a very important question as well. Did you ever bang anyone in the costume?
Tell me he said yes.
So this one's worth bringing up because yes, he did answer. Not only did he answer it, but he had no choice of answering it because um, he was actually uh, he was kind of pressured into answering
Okay.
because oh god, I gotta find it. He had a lot of upvotes.
Okay.
Yeah. I was Goofy at Walt Disney. This is the title of his post. I was Goofy at Walt Disney World for over 20 years. Ask me anything. This post is not for those who wish to preserve the Disney magic. Now he even said it right there. You know, it's not for those that want to preserve that Disney magic. Ever bang someone in a costume? So let's see what we got here. Here we are. He goes, so I got 2,444 people that upvoted it.
Wow.
Yes, someone wanted an answer.
Clearly.
And he replied, no. And contrary to popular belief, there aren't many furries in the character department. I know there are a few. I actually know one of them, but it's not something that's out in the open for sure.
Okay. Boring.
Yeah, that part's boring, but the comments that come afterwards, you gotta love Reddit sometimes.
Sometimes.
So in reply,
Only sometimes.
in reply to that comment, somebody goes, I know there are a few, I knew one of them. It's you, isn't it? To which someone replied, duh, why do you think replied, duh, what do you think he stayed there for 20 years?
Yeah. Where else are you gonna get your kink that's actually paid for?
I didn't say she was a bit silly, I said she was fucking goofy.
Oh. Oh, bad.
Is it also true working there is like working on a cruise ship? All of the cast crew members are fucking each other like rabbits? It's just jumping off of my question. Are there ones who fight over who gets to be Nick Wilde?
What?
I don't know that one.
I'm not hip with the contemporary
Disney characters?
Disney. Yeah. The only thing I know about Frozen is Let It Go.
I know it's something you're supposed to do to your meat.
Let It Go?
Keep it frozen? Eh.
No, man.
Yeah,
Hold on to that shit for dear life.
Oh, that meat.
Yeah, that meat.
Put into a sock.
Put it into a sock.
Oh. When I first called Andy, there was a pile of socks in front of his camera. Well, in front of his couch, which is in front of his camera, and he was giving me the rundown that he leaves his work socks there as he comes home. He winds down, he takes his socks off and everything, just kind of piles them up. And his brother comes over, always with the concern that you know, he's doing other things to these socks, not just sweating in them.
Yep. Which, I mean, is an admirable concern, but I wouldn't just leave them out like that. I mean, this is the guest room.
Yeah, and I asked him if he actually, you know, did do that into a sock.
If I've ever made love to a sock?
Yeah.
No, I have. I have made sweet, sweet love to a sock.
Yeah, and that's the answer I expected but didn't want. But I got it.
I thought about dirty pillows and made a dirty sock instead.
Oh, you are gross. What? So, have you ever been banned from anything before?
Oh, okay. Going back to the thingy. Yeah. Have I ever been banned from anything?
Actually, one more to go off of here. I actually got banned from. You remember AGDQ? We were talking about that a couple weeks ago. At this point.
Yes.
Yeah, the Awesome Games Done Quick, the speed run a marathon for Prevent Cancer Foundation, all that. I actually got banned from their chat permanently.
Why?
Like every year, I go to type something in chat and it goes, "You've been banned." Remember? I do now.
What were you banned for?
I don't know. To this day,
You taunting people?
No idea why, but I was banned.
Huh.
I swear, like I must have left my a stream up or something and like fell asleep on a keyboard or something like that and accidentally just typed garbage into the, just typed like JGHFFQ into,
Hamming.
yeah. I don't know why I was banned. Then again, I could imagine I possibly put one too many kappas into the Twitch chat. That's a possibility. That's all.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I
That's
really
touchy.
don't. Yeah.
No, I can honestly say that the only thing that I've been ever banned from, was, huh?
Aside from schoolyards.
Aside from schoolyards. No, don't start that rumor. I don't need that in my life. Although, if people wanted to keep their kids away from me, that would be best. Yes, I was banned from schoolyards. Get your dirty little Girl Scouts away from me. I want your damn cookies.
Not those ones, at least.
No, I have a weakness.
This is not the time to say that, Andy.
No, definitely not. No, I don't think I've ever been banned from anything. I was gonna say though, from like, when you were talking about the upvotes and stuff like that, I remember back in the day, I've been responsible for a couple things that gained popularity on message boards, but I've never been banned from any.
So the opposite.
Yeah, definitely the exact opposite. Because unlike you, sir, I am not a trolley scumbag. And
Wait, why? Wait a minute. How am I a trolley scumbag?
I don't know. It just seemed like the right thing to say.
Because I asked if he's ever banged anyone?
Yes.
That was a lip-reading question, man. You know he's been dying to tell someone that.
Dying to tell somebody that?
Well, he would have been if he actually had.
Yeah, No, he wouldn't have.
Look, it's not my fault he's just a boring goofy.
Oh my god, could you imagine, like, Goofy's O-face?
Oh.
How could you tell the difference?
Kid. God, that's terrible. People are gonna love this episode. So they first they spent the first 15 minutes talking about Reddit. Then they spent the next 5 minutes trying to imitate Goofy orgasming.
And then he tags in Donald.
Go ahead, do your Donald.
I can't. I really can't.
Alright, that's boring.
There's one character that I cannot impersonate. No, I have not.
You would think... yeah, I got nothing. People are going to love this one. They're going to go, man, this is a great episode. I'm totally listening to the next one.
Maybe we'll just sweep this one under the rug and be like, yeah, we released an episode, but we're not going to give you specifics. Enjoy.
You think this would be what would trigger them? Like, you think it would be, they really asked Goofy if he banged anyone? That's kind of dumb. That's what triggered. Or maybe it's just, have you ever been banned anything? No, I've never been banned from a message board. How about bars? Did you guys ever live life? You ever get kicked out of a bar?
No, I never really go to bars. I've been to a few, but yeah. No, I lead a very boring life. You find that out the hard way.
I'm pretty sure eventually we're both going to get kicked out of Chuck E. Cheese.
Eventually. I don't even know when. At some point or another we might.
Speaking of things that trigger.
Yeah, right. Gotta work on our segues.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Coming someday, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, although, yeah, so...
Yeah, although, so, yeah, sure, I got you.
Sure, whatever. God, this is terrible.
Best episode ever.
Oh my god.
So what?
That should be the title.
What? Best episode ever?
Yeah, best episode ever.
Yeah, this is going to require some good editing magic here. Are there anything that would trigger you?
Just like sent me off in a flying rage.
Yeah, like not necessarily. Well, not even so much flying rage. How about pet peeves even?
There's a few pet peeves. I've always hated a holier than thou attitude. That is a supreme pet peeve of mine. Because, like, first impressions, especially with people, like, I don't know what it is. Okay, so you're a handshaker or a hugger?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, probably more of a handshaker.
Well, it is kind of awkward to hug complete strangers. You're right.
Well, that's what. Well, yeah, and if you put it that way, certainly a handshaker. But I mean, like there are even there's even people that like I suppose probably wouldn't mind a hug,
Mhm.
or might even go as far as enjoying a hug. But if I've never done it with them, I'm not going to be the one to initiate that kind of response.
Okay.
You see what
All
I'm
right.
saying? Like
No, I got you.
if it's a friend of mine that happens to be a hugger, which we have those friends.
Yes, yes, we do.
You are those friends.
Yes, yes, I am. Because I'm a hugger.
I don't mind the hugging from that. Like that's fine. Whatever. I'll comply when it comes to someone approaching me about it. But I will never approach someone with it that wouldn't be expecting it from me.
Um, but the reason why I brought that up is because when I meet somebody for the first time, and I go to extend the hand for a handshake, um, first of all, the worst thing you could do is turn your nose up at it because it's an extension of pleasantries. Like, I know there are some people that are weird germaphobes about that sort of thing, but like
Have
at the
you ever?
same
I'm
time,
sorry to cut you off, but have you ever met someone that did that?
yes,
That's something.
yeah, yeah. Where they go, oh no, I don't shake hands.
Really?
Yeah,
Like actually told you I don't shake hands.
yes, I don't shake hands.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like
like
I could even see it going as far as like, I guess I'll do this, and just kind of like very weakly, you know, extending their hand and just
I've had
barely
more of
shaking
that.
it. Right.
I've had a lot of those, but like me, I like a good firm handshake when you
Sure.
first meet somebody.
Right.
It kind of sizes them up. It gives you a sense of like, I don't know, it's a courtesy to give somebody a decent handshake. When you go all limp in their hand and be like, oh, here, support my elbow. Like, no, I don't want one of those. Like, acknowledge that I'm a human being and grab my fucking fingers. As weird as it sounds to say that, as it actually is. But like even women, like there's times where, especially in a professional environment, I've had to meet women for the first time, and I will shake a hand. And
Let me rephrase. Hold on. Andy, when we're talking about you, let's be honest. Only in a professional environment have you had to meet women for the first time.
yeah. I mean, when you pay for it, it's still professional. Um,
I'm sorry.
oh, so bad. Damn you, Lyle. No, because like especially people like I work in a factory, so like there are times where you have women that'll come on like first day on the job and stuff like that, and I shake hands. That's what I do. I mean, I prefer the hug, but I'll shake hands. Um, so like you get the women that'll just be like, oh, haha, like they do the whole like, sure, I'll shake your hand, and that's all it is just them like putting their hand in mine. There's no shake involved. There's no pressure given, and I'm like, oh, this bitch. Like, and I've had a few of them that surprised me with like a good firm handshake. Like I like you. Like that's the first thought that comes out of my head when I get a decent handshake from somebody. Is like I respect you.
Yeah. And then there's the ones that are just too firm. Does that happen to you?
They got something to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've come across a few of those as well.
Yeah, those aren't fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd be like alpha male, like oh, I could crush a deer skull like a walnut. Like, okay, dude, seriously, chill.
I get it, buddy.
Yeah, you have a shake weight. I get it.
I mean, you kind of do too.
I didn't pay for mine.
You paid for the socks.
They were a gift.
Even worse.
What do you do with your gifts? Because I jizz in mine.
Oh man, that's funny.
That's how I mark them as my territory. Now nobody will steal my socks. Nobody has the balls to steal my socks.
Well, that's because your balls are in it.
That's how I mark territory. How about you? Do you have any pet peeves?
where do I begin? All right.
Yeah, because you are an angry person at heart.
Do I come off that way?
You do.
All right. Well, I mean,
Fix that.
why? It's got me this hard. I'll tell you
You're
what.
about as you're as approachable as cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it.
Way to prove that stigma. One pet peeve of mine that like definitely is when someone asks the question, here's my answer. I don't like it when people don't return carts at a grocery store.
It's an oddly specific quirk.
You know, I get that, but like I feel like I mean, just return the damn cart. How horrible is it? You know? Well, just do
There
it.
are people's jobs specifically who go out there to collect the carts.
And I get that. I do. But those are the same people that you will look down upon because they are working at a grocery store for minimum wage and all they're doing is collecting carts. If those people were serving your food, those are the people that the snobby woman in a restaurant would say, how hard is your job? But because all they're doing is collecting carts and you're too lazy to bring a cart back to a cart return area, you don't have the wherewithal to go up to that person and tell them your job is not that difficult or even ask them how hard is your job. Because if you wanted to go through all that, you would have just returned the cart in the first place.
Yeah, unlike a server, they are actually beneath my notice, so I don't have to have direct interaction.
But that's my point.
Right.
You can complain all you want about these people, but in actuality, instead of complaining about them, and if you just did what you're supposed to do and return, I mean, look, when you go to a restaurant and you eat the food there, you know the busboy is going to come and get your plate, but you don't throw the plate onto the floor first. Because it doesn't belong there. It belongs on your table. And that's where the busboy is going to pick it up from. Let me finish. He would pick it up from the table. Just like the cart guy would go to the cart return area to get the carts. Put the cart where it belongs, man. And I'm going to take it a step further here.
Okay.
If people give me the crap of, oh, well, what if it's raining? Or what if it's cold out? Or blah, 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 blah. Here's how you solve that. And this is what I do to solve it. Where is your preferred parking spot in a grocery store?
Towards the front.
Of course, right? Why wouldn't you? Less places, less distance to walk.
Yeah.
You're going to be walking in that grocery store way more than you're going to be walking in your parking lot, no matter where you park. Why does it matter how far away you park?
Because.
Right. Because our brains are trained to do it that way. You know from early childhood, everyone always tries to get the optimal parking, which is closer to the doors. Close to the doors as you can get it. Why not instead park right next to the cart return area? No one is going to just leave a car outside of the cart return area, because if they do, they're terrible people.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
But I
haven't done it myself, but I have seen it.
You have less chances of it.
True.
And on top of that, you're not really losing any walking distance because you're still doing a ton of walking in the grocery store. So big deal, you got to take an extra 10 steps outside. But you're still doing 1,500 steps in the grocery store. So you come out of the grocery store, you load up your car with your groceries. Again, an extra 10 steps, so now you're at a total of 20 extra steps total. You load up all your groceries into your car, from your cart.
Okay.
I can speak words. And when you're done the whole thing, oh, now what am I going to do with my cart? Now you can do what you always do and look around and go, is anyone looking? Anyone looking? No? I'm going to just put it between these two parking spots here. You could do that, but why would you? Because you're right next to the cart return area. You just be like, oh, well, this is easy. Now I feel like a good person. I want people to look at me.
Wow.
And you get in your car and you go away.
Yeah. That certainly is a rant. Two things. One, I always return my carts.
One other thing, I mean, before you go in on this, one other thing, you never have to worry about other people parking next to the cart return area. You always have to worry about whether or not you can get the optimal parking, quote unquote, of next to the door. Because people always want to park next to the door. but no one ever wants to park next to the cart return area. To prove that, since the week before New Year's, I've been counting, because I have this conversation with my coworker. I've been counting how many weeks in a row I can get a space next to a cart return. I mean, adjacent to a cart return area. Not like a space or two away. No. The next space is always available. Has been since I've been counting, which was the week before New Year's. Pretty much the week after Christmas. The in-between week there.
Okay.
Yeah. Every time I went to a grocery store since then, I've always had a spot waiting for me right next to the cart return area. So what I'm getting at here is that optimal parking, which is optimal to me, more so than being next to a door, is always available, as opposed to the next to the door optimal parking, which is not optimal to me. That's never available. Go ahead.
What if I'm just going in for 2 items? I don't need a cart.
Well, sure, then that changes things. But if you're going grocery shopping, like actually full-fledged grocery shopping.
Man, what's that like?
It's moments like that I go, I envy you because you live alone and you don't need a lot of stuff. So a lot of stuff is not going to take up a lot of space. Why would you not go to the grocery store and buy like 2 months worth of food?
'Cause it would take me 4 months to eat it. And by then it gets freezer burn, and freezer burn is gross.
Oh, yeah, but you don't get stuff that you have to worry about stuff like that with.
But that's all the good stuff, though.
Such as?
Well, meat, for one.
Yeah. How much meat do you buy at the grocery store, Andy?
On an average, if I'm getting groceries for like a month, 6 pounds.
Okay. And you're going to tell me that 6 pounds worth of meat is going to be freezer burned before you're going to eat it.
Yes.
If it's properly stored.
Yes.
You're not storing it properly.
I'm putting it in the freezer. What more proper storage do you want?
You don't put it in a freezer bag or anything, do you?
No.
Yep, you're an idiot. That's why you get freezer burn, Andy.
It's good enough for the store. Why isn't it good enough for my freezer?
Because just like the store, it's only going to last a week. If you're buying it for that week, then yes, that works. If you're buying it for a month or two, put it in a freezer bag.
See, look, this is information that never came up during school. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm here to help, buddy. I'm here to help everyone, actually. If you guys want to go out and buy groceries, and you don't know for some reason...
Want to know more about food? Talk to the expert.
Get freezer bags, all right? Do yourself a favor. Go to butcher shops. Do you want even better? Go to butcher shops. Usually there's some sort of deal on if you buy an X amount of pounds of meat. So if you go to a butcher shop and, let's just say chicken drumsticks are 99 cents a pound, all right? But you buy 10 pounds of them. Now all of a sudden they're 79 cents a pound. I know it doesn't sound like you're being that thrifty, but that's $2 you just saved.
Okay.
So you just got 10 pounds of chicken, which is going to last you plenty of time, for $2 cheaper. Okay? Now, you go and you spend that extra $2 on freezer bags, and you separate that chicken.
Honestly, I'm still at a point in my life where $2 is so what money. I mean, one day I'll get there. One day I'll be a homeowner, I
was going to say, I hear what you're saying, and you're right, $2 is not a whole lot to save. But if you're doing it with all your meats, and you're buying food for let's say 6 months, it makes a difference. Not to mention, it's just, why would you not save $2? I mean, not saying that you have to go out of your way to save $2. I'll put it to you this way. There was a time recently, me and my wife were out grocery shopping, and we had a coupon for something. And we were trying to scan the coupon. Now, I did not go out of my way to look for this coupon. It was one of those things that, I picked up the item in the aisle, and right next to it was an automated coupon dispenser. And I was like, why would I not? I just grabbed it and was like, all right, I just got to hold on to this until I'm ready to cash out, and then I can save 70 cents or $1. It was $1, actually.
Oh, man. Okay, side thing. When I was a kid and they had the automatic dispensers, I would try to see exactly how many of those things I could get before we left the grocery store. I called myself the Coupon Crusader, and I would go up and down the aisles trying to get as many coupons as I possibly could out of those dispensers before our grocery shopping was concluded. And then you know what I did with the coupons?
What'd you do?
Threw them away.
Do you know how many kids do that? Because I used to do it when I was a kid, and I never, never thought to bring it up to anybody. But that has to be something like all kids do.
It would have to be. I don't know why. If those kids don't do it, they're a waste of bodies.
And here's the thing. You know what they replaced them with? Because they still have coupon dispensers. Not as many, but they are still there. What I'm seeing more and more of are like buttons.
What?
There's literally a button that you will find next to a specific product that says, oh, do you like this product? Hit the like button. Let's see how many we get this week. And then there's a digital display of how many people hit the like button.
Wow.
Yeah. You know how much fun I would have had with that as a kid?
I just don't like the equal opportunity that there's not a dislike button.
Yeah. That's what I like about Reddit. There's an upvote and there's a downvote. But anyway, so I was at the store. I grabbed a coupon from the coupon dispenser for $1 off, whatever it was, right? We get to the cashier. We go to cash out, and actually, not even the cashier. We did one of the automatic self-service ones.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, self-checkout. That's what they're called. And, we ring everything up, and then it's like, okay, time to pay. It's like, oh, well, I still got this coupon. Let me just scan it real quick. Boop. The coupon didn't work. Well, why not? Try it again. Okay. Boop. Still didn't work. All right, I give up. That's how far I'm willing to go to save $1. If it doesn't work after the second boop, I give up.
If it doesn't work after the second boop.
My wife, on the other hand, said that I just have no patience and went and found the cashier helper for the self-checkout things and was like, our coupon's not working. Could you help us out? And I'm sitting there like, why? Is it that important to go and find someone just to save $1? So I get what you're saying about that $2 thing. But at the same time, she was just like, yeah, you just forgot to hit. I have a coupon.
Yeah. I mean, it would probably be staggering if I could think about all the money that I wasted a year. But I don't think about that. Instead, I think about, my family-sized pack of Gushers that I buy because I'm an adult. And if I want Gushers for breakfast, I can have it.
Speaking of things that trigger me. Yeah, we're not going to get into that. If anyone listened to my old podcast, they would know why Gushers triggered me. That's all I'm going to say. Speaking of the old podcast, I went ahead and, listened to it a little bit.
That makes one of us.
Well, you don't have an option to listen to it.
No. Rub it in.
I'm referring, of course, to the origin episode of Side Splitters that it's going to be released coming soon. It's going to be released to Bandcamp, and you'll be able to purchase it for $1 or more, depending on how, grateful you're feeling that day. How grateful is not the word. Yeah, it is. Yeah, thank us for our services. Thank us for making you laugh every week. That's right. Give us $1 or more for making you laugh.
How many gold, people?
Because you know what? We're not only going to have the origin episode of Side Splitters, we're also going to have a new radio play, brand new radio play. And you know who's going to be on that radio play? There's going to be Andy and his millions of voices. There's hopefully going to be Fresco and his million of voices. There's going to be Aunt Peggy. There's going to be Remus. There's going to be everyone. Everyone is going to be back there again that you remember from the Christmas play. Even the Grunch is going to be back. This is a universe I'm building. I'm going to Avengers the hell out of this.
Avengers the hell out of it. Why not? I mean, Hollywood's doing that. Yeah.
So, stay tuned for that. That's coming. It's going to be around end of March, beginning of April. So, just one of the... Oh, and there's also going to be... You're not getting away with this neither. Andy is going to do a St. Patrick's Day themed leprechaun St. Patrick rap. I don't know how. He's going to do a rap in an Irish voice. It's going to be hysterical. But I'm sure someone out there is like, you know what triggers me? Advertisements. Move on with the podcast. So, to answer
Yeah,
the question, Andy, people that don't return cards is what triggers me.
that was a very long about way of putting it. Sure. Have we spent too much time on this, or can I do one more?
I think you could do one more.
Okay. So my biggest pet peeve, and it is one that changes um, changes people from being a supermodel to a scumbag in my eyes in the blink of an eye. I cannot stand people that chew with their mouth open.
Okay, now I hear you saying changes supermodel to a scumbag. Are we referring to people of the opposite gender?
Yes.
Okay, so this is something that would instantly make them less attractive to you.
It would.
Like assuming that you're already attracted, assuming that Kesha walks into a Bennigan's, okay, and you're sitting down to enjoy your Monte Cristo, and
Monte Cristo.
huh?
What the hell's a Monte Cristo?
It's a deep fried sandwich, man.
Oh,
Go to Bennigan's and order one. My God, they're so good. They're terrible for you. Terrible
I
for
don't.
you, and they make you feel like shit afterwards. Like, for real, if you finish the sandwich, you're going to want to take a nap. But then you're going to be worried of whether or not you'll wake up again.
I think I've only ever eaten at a Bennigan's twice.
And you didn't get this? Because that's the only thing I get from there.
No, I got shepherd's pie and potato soup.
Okay, so this is a turkey ham and cheese sandwich. And it's cooked on French bread. Or not French bread, French toast.
Okay.
And then deep fried. And then it's got powdered sugar on top of it, and they give you a raspberry.
No.
Hold on, and then they give you raspberry jam to dip it in. Dude,
No.
don't knock it until you try it. My God, is it delicious.
Ew.
Do not even knock it until you try it.
Will and ew.
You just don't know.
But when you eat it, do you eat it with your mouth open or closed?
I do it with a 40, the only way I know how to. A 40 of Old English, just so I can know that, you know, for some reason I'm punishing my body, and my body's like, why you do this?
Yeah, no, I don't. It's weird, and I'm not even talking about like, because as varied as people's sneezes and laughter, there are the people that chew with their mouth open to a distinct style, and all of them are bad. None of them are adorable or endearing. They all suck.
Now, when you mention sneezing on it, are you talking about people that sneeze with their mouth open?
No, I mean, I'm just saying that people have different types of sneezes.
Oh, okay, because some of those can be like, not necessarily rage-inducing, but a little bit of a pet peeve. You know, this has nothing to do with, you know, making a person less attractive or anything. Going back a little bit here, but you know, the people that just go, like just way louder than they need to be for a sneeze.
Yeah, they sneeze like they're in a kung fu movie.
Okay, continue. So,
Yeah, no, because like there's some people that chew like rodents, where they just kind of have the food in their mouth and they like do like quick snips with their front teeth on it, or like the one that I hate is the full on like the world is square rotation thing, where they open their mouth, the jaw drops, goes from one corner to the other, and then back up, like one big like cow chewing motion.
oh,
And it drives me insane.
yeah, I can see that. What's even worse is if I may piggyback a little bit here, the ones that not only chew with their mouth open, but if they're eating something like messy or covered in sauce that they have to eat with their hands, like a nice hot turkey sandwich, or just all kind of different things, you know, that might have gravy spilling over the top of it and it gets on their fingers and everything. Every bite they make, they're chewing with their mouth open, and then they have to lip smack their fingers every second. It's just,
Oh, yeah, because I don't ever understood that anyway. There are people that I've seen that eat buffalo wings that will pick up a wing, eat it, lip smack their fingers clean, and then go back for the next wing. And I'm like, dude, you have 12 fucking wings. Your fingers are gonna get sauce on them. Move on.
I think it's rage-inducing that people order 12 wings.
Oh my god.
What are you going to do with 12? Get 20. Be a freaking person.
Be a friggin' person. No, it's just terrible. I hate it. I don't like it. I mean, I can sit across from like anybody,
Yeah.
and if they're chewing with their mouth open, it's just like it's a social deal breaker. Like I'm done. I want to scoot my chair out and just be like, no, done. I will talk to me when you can behave like a civilized person.
Okay, if we're going to put into perspective the concept that I am single and am in the dating scene or whatever, and I sit down to a woman that I might find attractive, I think the thing that would make me instantly go, "We're done here," um, probably not probably hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is something that I have a problem with. Oh, or not being able to control the volume of their voice.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
Like someone that has no concept of an inside voice, like it's just extremely loud for no reason. That drives me crazy. Like I cannot deal with this. I have to go. No, I'm sorry. You're paying for the coffee. I'm leaving.
Yeah, no, it was nice meeting you, but I'm lying.
Yeah, so that's enough on things like that. Though.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just felt like venting.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Um, what about what about something that is an instant turn off? So, okay, this kind of blends both. This kind of blends the aspect of things being cheap and the aspect of things triggering you or
Okay.
being a pet peeve. What is a cheap alternative of something that you absolutely have to avoid? Like no, I don't want that. I don't care how expensive my thing is. I'm not getting the cheap kind.
Toilet paper.
You've mentioned that before, so we're going to go with the side from toilet paper.
Damn it. What do I do? I mean, huh. I guess like it's really hard for me to get the cheap stuff of anything. Like,
Okay.
'cause I mean, I know that people are like, oh, it's the same thing. It's like I've had enough differences from like generic brand stuff to name brand stuff to tell you that there is a difference. Um, like with I worked at a man, how do I even put this? Uh, I was working like my first job was at a mom and pop gas station.
Okay.
Okay? And like while working there, I heard the owner being told that we had debris in the gas tank underneath the facility that, the guy didn't care about. Like, it wasn't supposed to be there, but he kind of shooed it off anyway. So, like, you know, that is cheap gas. Like, they didn't care. So,
So the debris was actually in the gas.
yeah, it was in the gas.
Okay. Wow.
Um, yeah. So, like, this is from Weights and Measures, which is like a big deal, and they kind of like shrugged it off, or like I don't know if he paid the guy under the table or whatever, but yeah. So like there are certain things that I will not cheap out on. Like I want to make sure that my car is running on decent gasoline. I want to make sure that the food that I eat is actually like good food and not paper mache that looks like chicken. Um, I want 2-ply fucking toilet paper.
Bad, son.
2-ply or die. Um, yeah, like even like getting used stuff. Like I don't like getting used stuff. Like give me new, or I want all the wear on it to be my wear, not somebody else's wear.
Yeah, I could see that. How about with a vehicle?
Even with a vehicle, like I have had, man, I am on my 8th or ninth car, I forget, but this is the first time that I ever got a vehicle new. And I got it 2 years ago. And I gotta tell you, the night and day difference from driving a new vehicle off of a lot versus getting one that wasn't breaking down in front of my eyes off of a buy here, pay here, or off of somebody's lawn was incredible. Like, if I can help it, I will never go back to getting a used car again.
Yeah. I've never bought a new car. My wife just got her first new car. When I say just, like, it was like 2 years ago as well. Of course, we both just got offers in the mail through our dealership, Hyundai. They said that they're running this promotion event that allows us to trade in our models for new models.
Okay.
And evidently, you're supposed to be able to trade them in to get the same make, just different year, you know? The newest year of that make and model. So I have a Hyundai Sonata. Mine's 2013. According to this deal, I should be able to trade it in. They'll take over the rest of the payments and make them, disappear. And the new car will be a 2017 or maybe 18 at this point. Probably 17. That's probably why they're doing it, to get rid of the 17 models. Right. 2017 Hyundai Sonata. And I'm able to either purchase or lease it, and it'll be the same payments that I'm making now, monthly.
Okay.
So I really want to look more into that because I would like that deal.
Yeah, jump on it.
Yeah, sounds great. I mean, I hope it can work out. My car is missing a rear bumper, so that might.
Yeah, I mean, shit, mine. Like, I've put up like 65,000 miles on this car already. I've only had it 2 years.
Oh, and I've had mine like 3 years, I think, at this point. Yeah, because it was only a year old when I got it, and it only had 30,000 when I bought it. So it was only a lease prior to my owning it. So it has maybe 65,000 now. I don't even think it has that many, to be honest with you. Like, I don't put a lot of miles on it. So a lease for me, it sounds like it's perfect. So I think I'm going to switch to a lease next time.
I have people that swear by that.
I mean, the bright side of it is you get a brand new vehicle every couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, the downside is you never actually own anything, but I look at it like this. By the time
you pay the rest of your life regardless.
Yeah, by the time I'm done paying something off, it's like, alright, well now I gotta put so much friggin' maintenance in it that either I'm gonna just want to get rid of it and get a new one, or I'm just, gonna be bored with it and want a new one anyway, so it's like, I might as well just lease. But, yeah, that's all I got. As far as me buying stuff that's, the cheap alternate version or the, good version or whatever, I've learned my lesson from certain things. Specifically, I will say this. I like the cheap version of toothpaste.
Really?
Like, okay, so there's like Crest, and there's like some things like that, whatever. I don't even know some of the other brand names. I like Aquafresh, which isn't exactly the most popular thing in the world, but for some reason, I love that toothpaste. I don't know why. That is my preferred brand of toothpaste. People go, what toothpaste do you like? No one ever says Aquafresh. They say Crest. What's another one? Colgate is the other one.
Yeah.
It's never Aquafresh. I like Aquafresh. Anyway, so for that, I will purposely cheap out. But to me, it's still, if I see Aquafresh or I see like, Mint Good, I'm still going to go for Aquafresh because, that's just, regardless if it's more expensive or more cheap, I like Aquafresh. So I guess in that sense, I have to go for my brand.
Yeah, I do way too many things. Like, I don't consider myself an elitist, but like, man, I have a disposable income at this point in my life, so the name brands, if I'm gonna do anything, I'd rather have the name brand.
That was going to be the other thing I pointed out, like you had mentioned with certain foods and everything, like, absolutely. Certain foods, we talked about this before, but it's like, if I'm going to go to a restaurant and have a steak dinner, I'm not going to get chuck steak. If I'm treating myself to a steak dinner, which is going to be rare in itself, I'm not going to do it every week, but if for some reason there's an occasion to sit down and have a steak dinner, it's going to be a good steak. It's not going to be chuck steak at a local diner. It's going to be like, something good at a steakhouse,
Yeah.
So for that, yeah, I'll spend the extra $1 or $2. Or in this case, 10.
20. Why stop there? We still have to go get our kangaroo burgers.
We will get our kangaroo burgers, sir. Good point. We will get our kangaroo burgers right after I come back from Vegas. Speaking of, I'm not going to be here next week. Next week, I am going to be in the Sin City, Las Vegas. Andy's stomping grounds for a whole year.
Oh yeah, good times.
Not to say that I'm going to be there for a whole year. Andy was there for a whole year. I'm only going for 4 days. In that 4 days period, that's usually when we would have our data record, our backup data record, and our day that, if we can't make day 1 or day 2, there's this one that we could do ahead of time, to be more prepared. Going to be in Vegas for all 3 of those days. That's a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday.
Somebody doesn't care about our schedule.
Right, and that's my wife. So, hi, honey. So, what we talked about doing is something a little special. Andy is going to do the podcast with a special guest. Hopefully it doesn't work so well that they end up abandoning me like I did for my last podcast.
Oh, wouldn't that be karmically sweet?
Oh my god, it really would. I would just listen to our origin episode over and over again on repeat as I cry myself to sleep every night.
Packing it into a sock.
Yeah. What is going to happen, because Andy is, still stuck in the 1950s when it comes to modern day technology. He is going to do a podcast the only way he knows how to. He knows how to stream on Twitch with video games because his Xbox One does it all for him. All he has to do is push a button and boom, he's there. So he's
gay. I heard that.
So he's going to be streaming with his guest, who we might as well announce, big surprise. It's Fresco. Yay! Yay! Assuming Fresco could make it. We are assuming Fresco has absolutely no plans. I mean, he's told me before that he usually doesn't, so I'm going to assume he's available. And specifically for something like this, I know he always likes doing stuff like this, so I think he'll make himself available if he's not. But assuming he's available, that's what's going to happen. Andy's going to stream on Wednesday of next week, right?
Wednesday, yes.
So that's going to be Wednesday the 22nd. What's interesting about that is we're actually coming home that day, so I might be able to catch like the tail end of it. So yeah, that's going to be a thing, and you can find that at twitch.tv/DireKiwi.
DireKiwi.
He'll put it, and that's DireKiwi. I'm sure he'll be good and post a link to it on the Side Splitters Facebook page and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'll be good about that.
Yeah. You can advertise it there. If for some reason you can't make it, he is going to then post it to his YouTube channel, which is also DireKiwi. Same spelling. If for some reason you hate YouTube and you hate Twitch or you hate supporting Andy solo, which I'm certain nobody has a problem with those 3 things collectively. Maybe 2 out of 3, but certainly not all 3.
I would say 2 out of 3. If it's all 3, then you sir, are a monster.
Yeah, I don't know what you're listening to this podcast for, because I know it's not me. I'm the guy that hates everything, apparently. Anyway, if for some reason that does happen, though, when I get home, I will be taking the audio from the YouTube video, and I'm going to edit it to be in podcast form. And it's going to be mono, not stereo this time. I want to apologize for last week's episode. Apparently, whether you realize it or not, this will tell the difference between our headphone listeners and our speaker in the background listeners. If you listen to it on headphones, you probably noticed last week's episode was done in stereo as opposed to in mono, because you can only hear my voice coming out of the left ear and Andy's voice coming out of the right ear. That's how we record it, so it's easier for me to edit. Usually I condense the 2 and just make it one mono sounding thing. By the end of it, I completely forgot to do that step last week. My bad. Hopefully that won't happen again. So anyway, next week's episode is going to be Fresco and Andy. I'm not going to be in it. There's going to be a ton of ways to listen to it. You can watch it live. You can interact with Fresco and Andy live on the Twitch chat. So that could be fun if you want to do that. Aside from that, yeah, YouTube, and then it'll eventually be on. It should be on our typical Side Splitters page on Libsyn and on Facebook on Thursday, typical time. So if you for some reason miss out on this episode, the only surprise is going to be, why is Lyle not there? That's the only thing that you're going to not realize, but, whatever. So that'll be that, and that'll be next week.
Yeah, just to give a more specific time on it, if you want to tune in live, it'll be Wednesday night from 7 p.m. until 8:30 p.m.
There you go, 7 to 8:30. And if I know Andy, I would show up late.
Yeah, probably.
I would show up late and, leave early. No, it should be fun. He's a lot of fun to watch stream. I've done it before. Before we did this, he used to stream a lot more often. I blame me for taking that away from people, and for that,
Actually, this did take that specific time slot.
I mean, it took one from me too. I used to stream too, and I actually had a better following than you did. Anyway, how about we get into the thing that they're not going to get to experience next week? Clickbait news.
Oh, absolutely. How many are from Florida?
Well, I can't leave the podcast for a week and let you go on a sour note of wanting more Florida, can I?
You really can't. And I was hoping, much like the parent that staples a $20 bill to their kid's shirt collar and sends them to the airport to see their aunt in Florida, I want to know what you're leaving me with, because you need to take care of me.
All three of them, my good man, are from Florida.
Amazing.
And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start you off with the one that's more sad than it is funny, but me and you are going to find the humor in it because we're sick sons of bitches.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, man was forced to eat his dog to survive.
No, not that bad.
Oh.
And it's also the most boring of the three.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll see if I can sprinkle some sugar on it.
I'll put it to you this way. This would be the Florida story in a slow news week. So, Andy, what did the firefighters what was in the what was in the Tampa garbage truck?
A Tampa garbage truck?
Yeah.
Well, saying garbage is too easy.
Specifically, what was alive in the Tampa garbage truck that Tampa firefighters rescued?
I mean, it seems too obvious, but I'm going to go with kitten.
It was a man. Just a person was in there.
Oh.
A whole person.
Oh, a whole person.
Yeah. Firefighters with the Tampa Fire Department rescued a man who was trapped inside of a garbage truck at the intersection of Hillsborough and Dale Mabry on Wednesday morning. Well, how do you know?
Maubrey.
Nope. Mabry. Mabry.
Mabry?
Yep.
Mabry.
It's Mabry, man. Shut up.
Mabry. At the corner of 10th and Mabry.
Yeah, well, this one is at the corner of Suck Mabry. While the garbage truck was making rounds, the waste management driver realized a man was inside calling for help. And here's where it gets sad. The man was sleeping in a dumpster when the truck came along to collect the trash.
That's sad. That's stupid. Why would you do that?
The man was dumped into the garbage truck with the contents of the dumpster. Just after 6:45 a.m., the man was pulled from the garbage truck and is now receiving medical attention. His condition has not been released. Waste Management released a statement regarding the incident. We are thankful he was safely transported. We do want to remind individuals to stay clear of our containers and remain safe. We are proud of our driver for being aware of his surroundings. That's it.
Wow. Okay, so first of all,
like I said, a light story from Florida.
Yeah, I mean, because somebody threw away a perfectly good man, or not. I mean, I was sleeping in a dumpster, probably not.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that he's receiving medical treatment, but I think to myself about that all the time. Like, how is he retrieving medical treatment? Because I know damn sure he doesn't have insurance. How the hell are they going to bill a homeless guy for a hospital stay?
That, good sir, is going to touch on some political no areas that we're not going to get into.
Fine. But at the same token, he's obviously a new homeless person. Um, and I say that because any homeless person worth his weight in crusty socks is gonna know that you do not sleep in a dumpster. Especially on garbage day. Because I tell you, any homeless person in any town knows when garbage day is.
Any of them.
That is survival tip number one to being homeless.
What if they're not
know when garbage day is.
What if they're not trying to survive?
Then why ask for help?
Regrets?
Regrets. a little late for that bullcrap now.
Okay, let's move on to story 2. Alrighty, story 2, also out of Florida. Let's see. Oh, that is definitely a last story. So this one has to be the next one. Andy, I want you to tell me how the Florida tourist ended up getting himself arrested when he arrived at the hotel.
How a Florida tourist ended up getting arrested at a hotel. Okay, so I have a strange concept here.
Okay.
I am assuming that he dressed as an alligator and made like he was eating the children in the lobby.
Your cater's TikTok. No. No, he did not do that.
Oh, alright, well, my story is officially more interesting. We can move on.
I wouldn't be so sure. Florida tourist arrested for mailing himself meth at a hotel.
What?
Oh, man. Robert Bear, a 24-year-old from Arizona, was arrested at a hotel in Key West on February 8th after allegedly mailing some meth there. Bear was hoping to try meth for the first time while he was on vacation on the Florida island. When Bear mailed the package, he was not yet a guest at the hotel and so addressed it only to the hotel. But when staff opened the small box, because it didn't have a name on it, so when staff opened the small box, they found the drugs wrapped in dirty socks and paper. Dirty socks again. I'm starting to see a theme here.
Dirty socks are pretty universal, man.
Bear had included his name and return address on the package. I'm glad he's vacationing in Florida.
Wow.
You belong here, buddy.
Yeah, seriously.
After finding the drugs, the hotel called the police, and an undercover officer, this is great, was sent to the hotel to act as the hotel manager. Bear arrived, checked in with the faux manager, received his package, and then was arrested in the lobby after a brief struggle by more undercover officers.
Wow.
Bear allegedly told police he never tried meth before, but wanted to give it a shot in Key West, quote, because he was in town to party. A police spokeswoman told Florida Keys News. The arrest was for suspicion of methamphetamine possession, resisting arrest, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Bear posted $19,000 bail bond and was released at 3:15 a.m. Friday, February 10th.
Wow.
Oh, here's an interesting fact that they give you at the end of it. According to Rehab International, the majority of crystal meth users are between 18 and 23, and the drug has the highest rate of relapse for addictive substances. The National Institute on Drug Abuse claims that 12.3 million Americans over the age of 12 had tried it at least once.
That's an oddly specific benchmark to give above the age of 12. How many 13-year-olds are doing meth?
I don't know. That's a good point, though.
Yeah, like, why would you set the benchmark that low? Like,
probably just to include it so that it just comes off as that terrible of a drug.
I guess, like, they're trying to fluff their numbers, which is, that's like saying,
yeah, but you know what? This goes back to the whole thing of, like, you know, when perfect example, my car dealership, they want to offer me a great deal so they can get me behind the wheel of a brand new car. That's the whole point of their existence, is to sell me new, you know, or even sell me used so they can make money off of something twice. Now, just like that car dealership, the whole point of this, what was it called? The National Institute on Drug Abuse. Their whole purpose, I'm sure, is to, raise the awareness of drug abuse. Which better way to do that by saying, hey, even 12-year-olds try this? Well, 13-year-olds, because it says over 12. Even 13-year-olds do this. Like, for real, stay away from this stuff. It's crazy addictive, I mean, that's the way to get it across.
I guess.
Now, can we delve away from the dumb fact and just focus more on Homeboy that mailed himself meth and wrote a return address on it with his name?
And what I like is that the charges he was brought up on was suspicion of possessing methamphetamines. So he didn't technically possess it until the cop handed him the package. Regardless of whether or not it had his name on it, that's irrelevant. He didn't actually own it until the cop gave it to him. That's planting evidence.
Okay, I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. And first of all, possession is 9/10 of the law, right? But they didn't charge him for possession. They charged him for suspicion of possession. When you add that suspicion of to a charge, you might as well not even have it there. The only reason it's there is so they can technically charge you with something. Now, in this case, he didn't technically have it on his person when they first seen him. It was given to him by an undercover officer. The suspicion of possession comes into play. This is a guess, like I said, but the suspicion of possession comes into play where he mailed it there because his name is on the return address. So if someone wanted to make that argument, well, we didn't technically possess it. Maybe he got a really good lawyer. He was able to post a 19 grand bail. So maybe he gets a really good lawyer. Not to mention he's going to Key West so he can, party.
Right.
So
True.
Maybe he gets a really good lawyer, and the good lawyer is like, he didn't technically possess it. The undercover cop gave it to him. This isn't a fair crime. Now all of a sudden, because of that suspicion of possession, they're like, oh, no. We didn't charge you with possession. We charged you with suspicion of possession. We suspect that you possessed it at one point because you sent it here, and it has your name and address on the envelope to prove that. Kind of hard to fight that.
I mean, no, you could still fight that. You could say that you didn't mail it there. It has your return address on it, but you don't know who wrote that on there.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well, like that's why they're suspecting that he possessed it, though. That's I mean, again, this goes back to suspicion. You know what I mean?
Right. But at the same token, like, where does it end there? Like, could you mail yourself like any kind of drug? Like,
and it also says possession of drug paraphernalia, which leads me to believe that he actually had some paraphernalia on him as well. As if he came there expecting the meth and was like, I got my pipe ready.
I need to do that. I need to start doing that more often. Just like start sending stuff ahead of time, like for my arrival. Like, I swear, the next time we go to a diner, I want to, like, send a doobie ahead and just be like, I will take this at dessert time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I will have my cup of coffee after my steak dinner plus my marijuana cigarette. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Remind me on episode 50 to tell you a story about that. Let's move on to the next story.
All right.
Okay, so the last, and in my opinion, best story, just based off the headline alone here, of the evening. I want you to tell me, how far a man went to talk to a woman in Florida.
The first thing that comes off the top of my head is he killed a close relative or loved one and then wore their skin as a disguise.
No.
That is legit the first thought that came into my head.
Well, that's not what this is.
Okay.
You tell me how terrible this is. Lakeland police, man tries to run woman off-road and throws dog at her so he can talk to her.
What? Hold on. Because the mental image of that alone is driving me insane.
Alright.
Oh, shit.
In Lakeland, a frost-proof man, whatever that means,
A what?
Frostproof.
Okay.
He can't get cold?
Maybe that's the town he's from?
Maybe?
That's a weird name for a town, though.
Yeah,
Frostproof.
it is. It's all one word. Frostproof.
Wow. Frostproof, Florida.
A frostproof man is facing after trying to run a woman off the road to, quote, talk with her at any cost, according to the Lakeland Police Department. Howard von... Oh, I gotta get this right. Hold on. Howard von Swearingen? Swearingen? Swearingen. Sweringen. Swearingen, maybe? We're gonna go with Swearingen.
Swearingen.
Swearingen? Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking Swearingen.
Howard von Swearingen, 41, is accused of pursuing 35-year-old Christina Fuller, apparently ramming her vehicle several times, and, at one point, throwing his dog at her. He was arrested Thursday at Lakeland High. Hold on, it gets better.
Oh my god.
This is something you see in the movies or on TV, Fuller said. Now it happened to me. The incident began about 7 a.m. Thursday after she dropped her daughter off at school and noticed Swearingen in a white Ford F-150 pickup following her on Bartow Road. He rammed his vehicle into hers, almost causing Fuller to lose control of her car, an arrest report says. She turned onto Frank Lloyd Wright Way in an effort to get away from him. I'm guessing that's the name of the street. At every stop sign, he would...
Did she make a right on it?
I don't know. At every stop sign, he would come up next to my truck, Fuller said. I started going down random roads just to try to get rid of him. When she got to Hardin Boulevard and Beacon Road, the situation got even scarier, she said. He gets out of his truck, walks up to my door, and I roll down my window a bit, Fuller said. And he threw his dog through the window. Yes,
wow.
Seriously, why? He's trying to ram you off the road. You stop and roll down the window for him.
Yeah, why? What kind of dog? Seriously, I have to put this to rest. What kind of dog?
The next sentence. Afraid the miniature pinscher would bite, Fuller...
Oh my god.
Wait, it gets better. Fuller threw the dog back to Swearingen. Hold on, I gotta type this really quick.
Playing a game of pinch or pass.
Oh shit. Pinch or pass. Okay. So where was I? Oh shit, I'm sorry. Okay, afraid the miniature pinscher would bite, Fuller threw the dog back to Swearingen. I was yelling at him, she said. He gets back in his truck and starts hitting my truck from behind. Worried that he would follow her home, Fuller called the school, told the secretary about the situation, asked the school resource officer to help, and started driving back to Lakeland High. I wasn't expecting anything like this. I wasn't prepared, Fuller said. I didn't even think to call 911. I was so scared. I think she might have got her hands on some of that meth from the last story.
Yeah, right? Cops or 911 would be the first thing I call.
I'm getting ran by a guy, so then I decide I'm going to roll my window down for him. He throws his dog at me, so I decide I'm going to throw it back at him. And then, on top of all of this, I'm going to not call the cops, but call a school instead.
Right, because, education's important.
Oh my goodness. While driving back to the school, Swearingen rammed his vehicle into Fuller's again, according to the report, but she ultimately made it to the school safely. I ran inside, grabbed the officer, and when we came outside, we found the guy trying to get into my truck, Fuller said. He told us he was looking for something for his headache. The meth. He seemed completely out of his mind, she said. When a police officer approached Swearingen, he started yelling and acting erratically, according to LPD. He was arrested and charged with aggravated battery and trespassing on school grounds. Swearingen gave police conflicting statements, the arrest affidavit says. He told them he didn't know Fuller, but he knew he had to watch her.
I feel the same about some other women. I can sympathize.
He told them Fuller's parents...
Wow!
He told them Fuller's parents told him to watch her. He told them he rammed his vehicle into hers because she wouldn't stop to talk to him, quote, after they had partied all night. And he told them he thought Fuller was pretty and wanted to, quote, talk with her at any cost.
God.
Fuller suspects Swearingen thought she was a student and that he was at the school looking for a young victim. She said Swearingen told her he was going to find her and kill her. Quote, when I read in the police report that he thought I was pretty and was going to talk to me at any cost, I broke down crying. Oh, when I read. Fuller said, I've cried so much through all of this, I'm scared out of my mind. I have a gun next to me now, she said. I thought I was calm, but when I hear about it, my heart just starts pounding again.
Wow.
Told you that was a good one.
Wow. I don't even know where to begin. Oh my God. What kind of guy is this that he just has a small dog that's throwing size?
Well, the good news is I have a picture at the ready for you.
Oh my God, what the fuck is that?
I gotta be honest, it looks like me if I never lost my hair.
I was gonna say it was the lead singer of System of a Down if he let himself go.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's really the only picture I have for you tonight. Unfortunately.
Holy shit. Yeah, like, oh my God. Just imagining him like her rolling down the window and be like, oh my God, what do you want? And he'd just be like, go Fluffy, attack!
Had to sneeze there. Yeah, seriously. I had to sneeze and I didn't want to all over the mic.
Didn't want to sound like you were in a kung fu flick.
Right. Alright, so that... Maybe he was so addicted to the idea of, you know what probably happened? He was probably a hardcore Pokemon fan. I mean, someone's going to make this joke, right? Probably a hardcore Pokemon fan and was like, I just went battling in Pokemon Go. Why won't they give it to me? Whatever, I'll do it myself.
Right? Bitch, I don't know if you knew that, but that was my Charizard. What, you want animals so much? Take mine, here!
No, idiot. Pinsir is a bug, not a Doberman.
Oh, Doberman Pinsir.
So, that's clickbait news for this week. We gotta name this and get out of here.
Oh my God. Okay, so I have a few.
Oh, so do I. I have 4 total. Go ahead.
Oh wow. Well, I kind of like the idea of the kung fu sneeze fit.
Okay.
I got that one. I do like pincher pass.
Okay, that's one of the ones I dropped down.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through mine. I have sticky socks.
Okay.
Dumpster vacancy.
Dumpster vacancy. Okay.
And volley puppy.
Ollie puppy. Alright, so far that's my favorite.
I had pincher pass.
Okay. No, I was thinking of I guess utility crust socks.
Another one. You've got meth.
You've got meth. Oh my God.
This one's chock full of them.
Yeah, right.
I feel like if we go down the road of socks, it has to be. I really like sticky socks.
Yeah, like they were all over the place in this one, actually.
Yeah.
Even in the damn news.
Which is why sticky socks work so much, because it's not just sticky for obvious reasons. It's sticky because it's on everything that we talk about.
Sticky socks. Yeah, no, I could totally agree with sticky socks.
I mean, at this point, it sounds like it's either going to be sticky socks or volley puppy.
Volley puppy. I think the socks are a bit more involved than what the overall episode was.
All right. So that'll do it for episode number 28.
28.
Not Volley Puppies, Sticky
No,
Socks.
we are not. No, as nice as Volley Puppy is.
Sticky Socks. Sticky Socks. Or we could just name it, just, however we would spell out. Tell you what, it's going to be Sticky Socks and it's going to be These Guys Like Puppies.
There you go. That works.
Oh. So yeah, that'll do
I
it for
approve.
episode 28. 28, which means next episode is 29, and it's going to have Fresco on it. Which means 30 is still going to have Fresco on it because it's every 10.
Yeah,
So
you got me in a technicality, man.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because you're getting Frescos for 2 weeks in a row.
Hope you enjoyed as much as I do.
You're definitely going to not enjoy it as much as I do.
Ha!
I love him, but he's like my favorite. Anyway, so yeah, episode number 28. What do we name it again? Sticky Socks. I named it. I can't remember it.
Socks.
Titled Sticky Socks. My name is Lyle.
And I am keeper of the socks, Andy.
Amongst other things. Have a good week. See you next week. I won't see you next week. Andy will see you next week. I will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye!